yane usio endo faton su body ase seche ba ye ndo na mi gunu nsae no ye mami adan fopa mami menyina maudi ye mi da o ma yenye wi ase wanwa se meto abedi o na wunya obosuani ai ese ne usiko kwa yane usio ye ndo yane usiko kwaje yane usiko susumani persona da we yane usio say nti obinka se ododa obinka se usubi di ya maida obinka se wompo bewa ma o henne enene ka wadofo toso de etwa onwehia nesne nkraman ade nene na ka wonkoen sao no ni patie ehia ohunti onti ni bebirebe de otime ye ntini ye sahamrani nipa no usiko kwa ya ne usiri yo ye no ehia ohunti onti ni bebirebe de otime ye ntini ye sahamrani nipa no usiko kwa ya ne usiri yo ye no ya ne usiko kwaje ya ne usiko susumani persona da we ya ne usiko edomani chidio sontakracha
Nakishila
Fire. Big brain on the beats.
Gonna boy attack Gonna boy oh Ekuonaba boating be say em one more piao your food ya pano onwani e piano piao yenke monko asanne ya bo abaso piao de we be brebe Gonna my need your walk. Yena need your walk. Ekuonaba say need your walk. In your day, on what you did in that guy was so. Ekuonaba, ya kase. About time in my bed, watch what you say. Oh yeah, be my time. Ya kase. About time in my bed, watch what you say. Oh yeah, be my time. Ayaya kase, about time in my bed, oh, watch what you say. We have been my time. Gaskia, Ekuonaba, what ye, Unyamisha, wo, Jankadabrem, one I would dream one more, Yankadabrem, one I would dream one more, yeah. We have been my time. You walk bad time, and so we have been my time. Yeah. We have been my time. You walk bad time. We have been my time. You more, piao. You more money, yeah. You more emu. Ekuonaba boatie, Ghana boy say, won't consume. Hey. Ajeni boating on brepon on kwaso
Ekuona na ajeni boating abiriwo do clear nana bon free nana no ya waya mata Ghana boy osodo wasie nyado wanka bibia nchewa no wadan na tikwa kire wo
abusia bididi Ekuonaba boating na ha Ekuonaba television nana adodankwa akofo ado ene ne mpanyfo ama yaso ate ye de ani ahunu unim de mekan Galamsey ehuni oma ekoso ewo Ghana ebia na wo hweme na wonim hawa Galamsey no asi asai nsu ni ensa asiafa eyade e wo say national issue e wo senka Ghana ni dihie bia no hwe wote se ye ka Galamsey a umi ubeto so ananko ami ahye nanko wa start commenter enya timdidi commenter edi solutions beba na ye de mampanyimfo no because omo follow social media pa especially be page mpanyimfo wo so omo hwe na omo hwe ne omo aye ka e wo so omo de omo te omo ba bi omo tie o what in the Flagstaff house wo ba bi a wote no yintu Galamsey wo ho ntu onya feelings ni ye wo nua na wote akurase a wo ye ne kokoo ene no baye no a Galamsey na say no because safety me mindful na tikuru so contribute ya asai na nanom bi so ka ho a akosai no ene politicians nso edimu atentema edibu se mudimu akotene no ama saa de yetima koso no yanka ho asem a ma yampe kwan ebetimi de asem ne pomasi berasi a enya de a ebeboa nti we eye case a ehu hia e wo se me se madaje yetena se ne yeka ho asem yi pa wo se nka blogger bia every presenter every journalist when I was say wo kwa mo gan or my Ghana no ka wo tena na so camera wonya abotre na wo diagnose na Ghana ni di hie bia no omu adwene ekosa asem no so we ni ade ahuhia sese ya omo wo so obi aka ho asem ne mpanyifo hu se ha ye ne Ghana fo woti abrocha wadwen ben se hawo ti ase ya unua bi tie kura na se wo ko sa problem nim nti wo ho to wa unua bi nya problem nyanka awisia kunafo wo kura se omo ho kire omo ebia na onim se Galamsey na se nsu asa ni oma sei na Galamsey no aye wo hwe de da screen nsu ya we eye nsu a ewo yekurum Ghana Galamsey no atimi asɛn no na wo hwe nsase a woni gusu ya wo hwe ya eye nioma ha adwene yi because obi tie kura na se ekwan kura ye de fa so ko tu sa Galamsey ni ye nyeye aduane anipa edi wo kurom ho omunya omunno baye ni nyina asɛn enioma asɛn true Galamsey no eye ade a ehu na ewo se eye presenters ni law ewo se Ghana ni di hie bia etiki sa asɛm we very serious we ade a ehu a ewo se yetimi se yada age wo ho yi pa na wo hwɛ de wi asase no aye na enye desert o we ye forest ana adane desert hwensuo a eda ho a eni kroje kane na otimi fam ekoyi eye emoa wom koyi fish ne ade ne enkoda so udware wom no na ebi sebinom ewo nsuo na gya ene nsuo na tia no ese nsuo no ana adane milk a te se wo hwɛ de eto ewo screen su ya utimi se ase tea no ase tea pampa a te se enya asem ketwa etene akwa akosi kuro bi so a kuro kwa be ne oni nsuo obenom a ne nsuo ne da so nyina nsuo ya ekoi ese hwɛ de nsuo na ye ese nsuo to na se ejiri na se kum kofo a na nkofo so start no ebusa questions nsuo na wo sɛ no mother nature na wo nya abotre a wo sɛ no eno ne ade a esan so abebu abo asa ku afrati asefo asase so nti wo so wa share program we na dan kwa akofo ado etutu ne nan ede kokumase kosia ahemfo ode kokumase kosia DCE fo na afen nso oka de da na koma so de kire wo mo na nkofo na okohia wo mo ewo kumase mpotam no ensem ahodo ahemfo ede tu nanim na dan kwa akofo ado so de tu wo manim no mebo ni nyina amwatie na wankasa wura ba hu yie pa ede ama o man Ghana sisese no Ghana sei na akwa akodu dia abusuya wose nyina de ensagu eti na ye buy your heads in shame eye niwusam a te se eni kwan senka eye se ye tena se kura kasa asem we kire se ade a wankasa wani gusu a wuhwe no ekokum nipa o ade a wankasa wani gusu a wuhwe no obi nya nso num o ade a wankasa wani gusu a wuhwe no esen kofo no baye o ekwan kura nkofo no omti kurom ho fa so di ko omu kurom no ekwan no asen light kura eni kurom ho enso still ye tu agudie e wo kurom ho ye start si ye tu gold e wo Ghana enye ne ache edie mfaso na manya de afrim e asase na mo se no se say China ena import eye ye friend say bayire e de kwa manone ekoton no China wo e dua bayire koton Ghana ye te ho ana ye nsase no ye nyina obigu so ene wo hu nsuo no wo sense ase ni no baye watie si eye forest ene wo mo se no politicians yidi mu akotene ahemfo di mu akotene timamanfo di mu akotene military ekwo bi mu di mu akotene a police fo bi di mu akotene ade a eye nyina na wose ye buy your head in shame because ade a ensenem fata se enkaesie enso asi enti ye besa ya daje ni nyina ya kan bom aka ho semwei kopem se ye benya na poma sibre because ade a wose yetimi eka eho asem wo da wa hwede o maye kwan no hwede o maye nsuo nsuo na da ho no wo se nsuo na ite se milk no ebia na wa adwen nyanko so ye te na me se ma daje wo video we hu pa hwe kwabrane na gina nsuom ene waso eye machine ene odisi nsuo na popopopo ohun nsuo na se no kwabrane na atam eye excavator akosi so ena wotwe eye anwea firim obie nsuo ni ma nsuo na tre o se nsuo no bone woni patuntum ye tirimu nti da bia ye ho ba kire ye saa onwene ne daache onwene akina de obedie onwene ne nua no a wote nsuo no agya de ono nso obedi amana kona no de ono pa ne se ono benya bi ede ato ne butum nsuo ye da so yi de aye milk pa omote se sojafo no eba na afi omu nyina adwane which means se onim poten pa se wo di bone nyanso obedi bone no ade bechi na sa ade we yakum nipa na afei nipa nso asan so camera na esan so kasa ebusa question say edien na aban no ede afa ho na video bi a me be yi akyerɛw arahu yi pa menim say arahu sɛm say ye nigi sɛm menim ɛyɛ ɔhene pɔn a wɔte ekuro bi so ɛna di features yi aba abɔnten ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔno teacher ni a yafa na dwuma ɛwɔ kuro so wɔkyerɛ ade a yɛtua ne kam headmaster wawu sese yi a yɛkasa yi watu amana a ɔno de kopani gold ana fofia ntoata amana nankasa adwino ɛde na hyemu yɛnkan krata yɛ ba abɔnten assistant headmaster a ɔwɔ ɛyɛ impatatia ɛwɔ LJSS dies in Galamsey pit. A 49-year-old assistant headmaster at ɛyɛ impatatia DA Junior High School in the Amancia South District of the Asante region has died after he fell into a mining pit. Officials say Akwesi Anane had embarked on a routine trip to his mining concession at about 9 p.m. Next one wankasa and the routine section no the mining sector and as in the mining concession or no adwuma yɛ no and we call her on June 9 p.m. A Tuesday no and we call her and sana saa asɛm no ekwakosi October 4th year. The disease reportedly missed his step and fell into one of the abandoned mining pit. Ono ankasa na okọ ho anadwo 9 p.m. no eye enioma watu anase agudi a wokopa a watutu amana wankata so no ohuri ede atra ana fofia ntoanta okoto amana na ono ankasa atu onim na wode awuo. Okay, his body was immediately pulled out of the mud after a rescue mission. Yejini ni pedua ede free eye atachenim abra omutimi eye sa adwumadie no rescue fo no bepie ho omuyi ni epieye. He was however confirmed dead at the scene. Se say ya ye kase wawu asha me na ono ankasa 2 year wan kata so no wawu edam. A district coordinator for the National Disaster Management Organization for Amancia South Edward Odro Insia confirmed the development to the Daily Mail. Enti DC and as a district coordinator a wo krom ho no e na de beto abonten ma yete say abrantie no adwumadi a wakodi a ono ye teacher ni oye headmaster e woye impatasie a ono atimakotu amana mienu ba ko eso okata so no wankata so nkobi nkotomu nkowu ana fofia nto ato no ankasa akomese the steps a wakotomu a wawu no. He is a teacher and also he has a concession, so he went to site very late. Oye teacher ni osanso wa asase odi tu agudie nti okoho anadwo ade asa eno ne man koto saade mu a odi ewuye. He stood on top of the pit and attempted to make a step and slipped. Ojina eye baabi a wotu amana no a wo ye se ohuri e de atra ko different place akoto na dwumadie so ene patre na okoto amana ono atu onim a woja atache ne omu ene owuye. His body has been deposited at the St. Martin's Hospital at eye Agresun Insia said. Enti se say ni padua no ye de akwakoto eye mortuary a ewo eye Agresun as se say ya kase ohye eye fridge mu a se ebusuafo ekwakofa na enche. Fighter Galamsey fighter yeye nana danko akofo ado mu amako suku a ewo senka mukwa mu educate public no se ade na amu tutuo no enya de ye ne emwa mo no mu asuku fo so amako suku nso mu so mede mo ho agim se ya ye kase papa wawu ofrati asefo asase so se ya ye kase all in the name of the Galamsey dwumadi a okwa akodi okotunu gold na wotutu amena wo so kata so na wan kata so na akofa asemwe ede aba na minister a ono eda sansem ya no a wo kire say Galamsey a ho twa atese wo man Ghana mu a ha wo mu no okọ site a wo kwa akọhwe wo ne asojafo ene kọ ho ye hwensem a ekosi ye bra okopie mu site wo.
Should baffle all of us as citizens, as policy makers, and as stakeholders in this fight. How an operation like this in the heart of the forest and in the faraway areas of our country can go on without notice by police, the chiefs, the local political leadership, assembly people, the district chief executive, for example, and I should dare say even the Inspectorate Division of the Minerals Commission here. And these are questions that I, as Minister, am going to be seeking answers for. How is it the case that such an operation can be mounted and such level of devastation can happen when there is a district outfit of the Minerals Commission, which you have an inspectorate division, when there's a police command here, when there's a district representative.
The minister says the government will continue to deploy the military to clamp down on the activities of illegal miners.
The president, his government, and people of Ghana are truly, truly grateful for the work you do. I've been Minister for Lands and Natural Resources for almost 2 years now, and I've been to all manner of places. I've been to all the 16 regions of Ghana. I've been to mining operations, but coming here is an eye-opener for me because I never even imagined that this illegal mining can take place in such hinterlands, and for you to be locked up here and clearing up the place and making sure that we clean up our environment and rid the country and the environment of illegal miners and their activities. I think that you deserve a huge applause from myself, from the president, from the government, and the people of Ghana. So thank you very much and bravo.
We did this operation just on Monday, and as you are aware, military operations we will normally plan before we do the operations. We come on reconnaissance sometimes once, twice, just to confirm locations. And sometimes the Mineral Commission also gives us coordinates and the areas that they think are so bad. So, like, we've done it a couple of times, but it appears it has to be sustained. So, from the directions from the Honorable Minister, we did this operation on Monday, and we are still continuing. But the interviews that we've had with citizens and locals within this catchment area tells us that their livelihoods, particularly their water and their farms, have been devastated. So, I believe that the war against the environment will be won, and I know with the assurance from the Honorable Minister, we will actually succeed. Of course, but it has to be sustained, and I believe he will ensure that we sustain this operation.
Okay, the minister eko PMU ewo site a ne asojafo eko PMU ho no. Ensem sei ena omde tu edwa. Na ekromofo na amoti kromo na yetime mindfo no. Enso de nsam eto eye mpanyimfo anim ade property ntia omo nso eye omo Galamsey no. Na yentie nsem omo kan emra omo ko PMU ewo ho no.
China for no mama kwa ma China for na we sa na wie. Enti e kire ne ye adwuma ye no. Ene ye no ma kire ye didi. Ba nya kwa ye ne ya se no. Kwa ye ndo mo din ka se ndada. Ene ye fa kire. Enti for to be abai di flow mo ba din ka tata no. Ana abesan ye de komani bele ene ye de fa kire.
Ye japade no mo season no. Omunye ma ye kakra mo ye mra ne fa mo abo aye ne ma na no. Nsa boys. Ensure na ase ne de. On say head this stand for fina. Ye de na before de na muwa. China for the no be ye de na ben ofin no. But mo be kan o na mo tiam no mo jai. And so tiam ye sisi ana ni but betin ataki bia be after be 5 years come asa na ani.
So ho. Eti ekromofo no ankasa nso animpoten pa say ensuo no ani betimi ate a enye ne na ani beti. Ebetimi ataki 5 years more ansa na ani nate. Na nti yenja omo no omonye de omo ye. Menye so se mpanyifo betie de omo ka no omekoso aye eye protest no kopim se saade nyina eto ebetwa. Na dankwa akofo ado ekohia mu ewo eye kumase. Okohia mpanyifo ewo ho ekwa discuss ye efa eye Galamsey no ho ne oma. Okohia ahemfo, okohia DCE fo. Ni nyina ne se Galamsey no na dankwa akofo ado making comment no. O kire se nsase ewo Ghana no ahemfo ewo mu 80%. Ana eye politicians nso anase oban no so mu 20%. Inti se ba se bibi se ekoso a na se wode so bo no anase wo ma eye mpanyimfo na tiase se omo nyina nka ne ho na sa Galamsey na ekoso ewo ye kurom Ghana ya santimputam mu ne ekura akeka ni nyina ba bia ye Galamsey bia obia entimi emwa ne mpeso aso na sa ansem ni nyina etu entwa intanado danko akofo ado eni team ekopie mu ewo ho a na ade bia awrekosem okasa ye wie no oyi video e de kire omo se me pa acho mo hwe video ye a eda so yi omo hwe video ni wie otim se na obia aye basa yi pa otim se omo ankasa no omo anim wote ho na se oye Galamsey ni bi na se oye nana na se wote sa program na se a wotim se no wanim aye style pa because wankasa wa adwini mu no hu ni sa ade a asie no e awrekosem nti after program se wotim se na ahemfo ne buafu ana omo e ka che media nso mu mpie nko na se ebufu abayi pa nti ahemfo a okohia wo mo ene ekoto eye dom ahene mu nyina ewo ho bia ahemfo a wo Ghana nyina obi a kohia mu ewo eho a na enye asem keto a ensensem a ekoso ewo mu kuro mu ene nsase a omo eseye no omo contribution ewo mu no na ema omo hu na ma omo te ase se omo moa na saa Galamsey na ese yensa ase yensuo yenyapade ese janka bi ekunani bi mobro wani bi a waye na afuo no saa nsem ni nyina etu entimi entwa na Addo nsem wodi tudwa emre okopie mu ewo National House of Chiefs for na ase na ono omkotwetwe nkobo se onipa ene onua anase Ghana fo enyina na edadwene eda omoso no yebekwa akotie nsem ana na dankwa akofo Addo ekaaye na video na obo enso ede kire omoso omonhye ade a ekoso ewo omo ankasa hefa ekuro mu no na eye ohene a odi animu anase leader on the National House of Chiefs no o make comment bi ane nkofo mebina ebusa se ensem na Addo ba so oba beka na ye ensem a eye ehuhia na ye very urgent se ohene bi ade ne support tie na Addo achi no ohene no kasa no wo ka ene se na Addo ensanso entwie sika bi mfa mo omo omo sika bi abedo se na se nkofo se obi a president mu aturu nan aba ona ase na obeka asem a ehuhia na aye very urgent say no sikasem ye den ebepie mu ewa hansem na obi ka no yentie nsem a ohene okae.
We urgently appeal to your government to pay Nananom's outstanding quarterly allowances. We also demand economic sitting and traveling allowances to reflect present-day economic conditions. Mr. President, on behalf of Nananom, you are gladly welcome to Kumasi into the house. Thank you very much.
Okay, and some say, and what you chat to the mom, Nanko Phobia say, and some I become one dangerous. It's this time around, yes, some I will say, Sika, some allowance, nay, sitting there and this is the time one. I wasn't Kamukram Nana, what 2 idea baby, Nana ye jinaso, and a niche ya, Yenina ye, Quay Crassi, near Pequia before Swama side and 2 chassis CA. And only idea and conform Brinano as one more expert here, but a all the same. Nanado Kasai, you could change someone another down Quackofado, and the tunko free, and I say yen ananomy or the 2 omenim, a yara hosem.
So, very good. Oh, I thought, no, they are showing the video first, right? It's okay, okay.
The President of the National House of Chiefs, the Vice President, and distinguished members of the National House of Chiefs, the Ashanti Regional Minister, Senior Advisor to the President, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, and Member of Parliament for Damango, the Minister for Local Government, Decentralization, and Rural Development and Member of Parliament for Okre, the Metropolitan Chief Executive for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, members of the media. The President of the House, when I was greeting him, told me he thought that I would be in Kente to come and address the National House of Chiefs today. But I told him that there was no Kente of mine that could match up to the Kente of the members of the National House. So I thought it would be safer to be in a suit.
Before you leave.
I'm grateful to the President of the National House of Chiefs, the forward-thinking Omanhene of Sefianriaso Okiahoho Yaojebi II, for so readily agreeing to my respectful request to meet with you this morning. And I'm further grateful that at such relatively short notice, so many of you, our distinguished traditional rulers from the various parts of our nation, have found it possible to be here this morning to meet with you, to meet with me. I asked for this meeting because I want to speak to you about a matter of great national importance, and that is this vexed issue of Galamsey. The President and members of the National House of Chiefs, you have been for centuries the custodians and owners of the lands of our nation. Today, between you and I, as the President of the Republic, we are responsible for the management of all lands in Ghana. Indeed, 80% of the lands in this country continue to be under your custody, much of it having been acquired through the blood and sacrifices of your ancestors. The remainder of 20%, which I hold in trust for the people of Ghana, derives from state acquisition from you. What this means is that ultimately, the welfare of the state of the lands is our joint responsibility. Historically, we discharge that responsibility well. Even though for centuries we have been a mining nation, mining did not pose a threat to the health of our environment and water bodies. The rules that you put in place for mining ensure that the sanctity of our lands remained intact and our water bodies remained unpolluted. Tragically, in the modern era, that is no longer the case. And that is why I've come to you today to talk about how together we can repair this dramatic situation. Since I took office on 7th January 2017, nearly 6 years ago, I have made it a central feature of my presidency to lead in the efforts to rid our country of this madness, which we all now call Galamsey. Indeed, it was an important aspect of my inaugural address of that day. It has not been easy, it has not been popular, and we have not got the immediate results that I was looking for. Indeed, in the last elections of 2020, my stance on the issue cost my party and I significant losses in the mining communities. It turned out that my statement that I was putting my presidency on the line in the fight against Galamsey was neither bombast nor recklessness. It was the simple truth. We have tried many initiatives, including that of the community mining scheme and the establishment of a new legal regime for dealing with the perpetrators of this phenomenon, which has imposed severe sanctions on those Ghanaians and foreigners convicted of illegal mining. Still, we have not won the fight. It is obvious that if we are to win the fight, you and I have to take the lead to collaborate closely to do so. And that is why I'm here today. After our meeting, I'll also be meeting with the other half of local government, the metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives in the 90 metropolitan, municipal, and district areas across the country where mining activities take place, to seek their active collaboration too. There are many requests I intend to make of you in the closed-door session of our meeting. But one of the most significant, which I have to state now, is to seek your assistance to take partisan political interests out of the fight against Galamsey. It can only succeed if it is a truly national battle, which no one seeks to exploit. Last election. The progress of our country depends on all of us, all citizens of Ghana, all fellow Ghanaians, pulling together to defeat this existential threat to our future. I've said it before, we are not against mining, but we cannot accept mining in a manner that risks destroying our country. Our nation has always been a mining nation. Indeed, in the 15th century, when the first Europeans, the Portuguese, came to our shores, they called the first European-influenced town El Mina, meaning the mine in Portuguese, because from their ships, as they approached our shores, that is the activity they saw our people engaged in. It is not surprising that in colonial times we were called the Gold Coast. I ask all of you to join hands with me in the fight against illegal mining in order to bring an end to the devastation of our landscape and the pollution of our water bodies. We have to win that fight to keep our environment clean and protect our heritage for our descendants, as you did so well in the past. I'd like, therefore, to conclude these introductory remarks and ask the media to excuse us, to play you a short video to indicate the nature of the problem.
The video.
This is the state of our land and water bodies. Our environment. We did this. Decades of impunity and disregard for the law have resulted in this. The war against illegal mining has been fought and lost since the 1970s. And we all must take the fall for it. As a people, our lack of collective commitment has been a bane to the fight against illegal mining. For decades, successive governments' efforts have been thwarted by the very people expected to be at the forefront of the fight. The destruction to our water bodies and degradation of our land did not start today or recent years. Galamsey has remained prevalent, with efforts devoted to countering the practice hampered by several key factors. River and Cobra, Brim, Offing, Bia, Bonsa, Tano, hitherto surrounded by green and rich forest, flowed clean and pure. It was the pride of the people who lived on clean drinking water from these sources. All the crops, water bodies, and precious minerals in our land stayed peacefully together in a delicate balance. But today, the collective pride and dignity can no more be boasted of. The rich farmlands and clean water bodies have largely been destroyed. Illegal gold mining devastates the environment, causing deforestation, biodiversity and habitat loss, as well as water, air and soil pollution through the release of toxic chemicals. A habit that successive national leaderships have cautioned, impressed upon and fought to stop the few out of the larger population for the good of us all now, our children and their children's children have yielded little. For decades, a section of us have continuously participated in the degradation of the land we all depend on and will depend on for a lifetime. The ongoing prevalence of Galamsey could threaten Ghana's agricultural production, increase the risk of social unrest, and heighten the potential for ethnic tensions between the influx of Chinese workers into Ghana and the local populace. We may sit in our homes thinking this does not affect us, our family, or immediate environment. What we may not know is that the activities of a few illegal miners in the Etiwa forest or along the banks of the Brim River expose all of us to serious health and environmental risks. So, it is on us, the politicians, traditional authorities, religious leaders, business leaders, and citizens or guarded the vices of Galamsey through decades to end it all and restore hope for future generations and dignity for this generation. The effects of Galamsey go beyond deforestation and water pollution.
All of you can see the level of devastation. It should baffle all of us as citizens, as policymakers, and as stakeholders in this fight, how an operation like this in the heart of the forest and in the faraway areas of our country can go on without notice by police, the chiefs, the local political leadership, assembly people, the district chief executive, for example, and I should dare say even the Inspectorate Division of the Minerals Commission here. The point we keep making about the fight against illegal mining being a collective one, I think this is a classic evidence of that call that it will require the concerted effort of all of us. It cannot be the fight for government alone or for ministers alone. It has to be the fight for all of us, citizens and all the actors in the body politic of Ghana.
The situation is dire, and if we continue to look on as a people, we may wake up one day with no water to drink, no land to farm, and no natural resources to boast of. It is time to come together in loyalty to our motherland, Ghana, devoid of political, religious, and tribal affiliations, to fight this canker.
We cannot look on as our very existence as a country is put in jeopardy and our water bodies, forests, and landmass are destroyed. Even with the ban, it has been a never-ending battle with the Galamsey.
Collective action is required. Stop Galamsey. Let's save our environment. our environment. We did this. Decades of impunity and disregard for the law have resulted in this. The war against illegal mining has been fought and lost since the 1970s.
Nana President and members of the National House of Fees, I thank you for your attention. And I'll ask the media at this stage to excuse us as we go into closed session. Thank you.
Abusiafo se mo hoye. Omo hwe video ni wie no. Na ehwo nyina ye din. Nsembo no kura won sentimi amba. Because arahosem. Was a gun and ye be or participate to side deal we no. With timidity tea crash ho. Nim I didn't about him. So wo pesa wunya wo hunti. Na what made decide medi. In so ahodwa omo boy wo video yi mu ni nyina say. Politicians shim na nado kan. First say chiefs shim na nado kan. MC DC hwan fo shim okan. Timemanfo shim okan. Odu obia kan ho se ye nyina ne aye sa de we adeti na ebo e ho aborosa se China ene de eye bayere ekọ amonone ekoche yensa ase da ho aye forest yesim ene yetuni se funya a enya asem ketwa osanso koye ekopie mu ewo ne nkofo a ode o masi na nan mu ewo asantemputem ne ewiase ane sorry Ghana putem be religions ni nyina osanso kohia wo mu yentinsem ana na danko akofo ado ekohia wo mu osanso ka kire wo mu yenti.
About an hour ago, I finished the meeting that I had with the National House of Chiefs. And I indicated to them that after my meeting with them, I'll be meeting with you. Because it's the two of you that constitute local government, the MMDCs and our traditional authorities. All of you are aware of the great menace that is confronting our country, Galamsey, all over Ghana, and it is now dominating the public discourse. It's clear that if we don't do something about it, the Ghana that we inherited, which was already in a critical state, will be even worse for the future. There's every need for all of us to work together actively, closely, to make sure that we reverse this phenomenon in Ghana. And the need amongst us has grown even greater because of the constant allegations being made that you are heavily involved in the whole Galamsey exercise. I'm coming here today to talk to you about how we can work together to get rid of this phenomenon. I'm not here to cast aspersions against anybody, but also to impress upon you that I'm determined, come what may, to continue this fight against Galamsey. I'm aware that in the last election, it cost us, especially in the western region. Most of the mining communities in the area turned their back on us. I think there are just two exceptions, Takwa and Bibiani. The rest turned their backs on us. So there is a political cost to the fight we're waging. It's a cost we should be prepared to pay in the interests of Ghana. So today's meeting is about what we need to do to reverse the operation of this phenomenon in Ghana. You are my representatives in each of your metropolises, municipalities, and districts. You are the representatives of the president. It cannot be that the president at the national level is waging a war against Galamsey, and you at the local level, my representatives, are compromising that fight. That cannot work. I'm not here to threaten anybody, but I want you to know that this is a struggle that I take very seriously. And I will not be in a position to protect anybody against whom evidence is marshaled to show their complicity. I won't do it. Let us work together to get rid of this man. And I believe that if the people of Ghana see a determined effort on our part, which is yielding results, our water bodies are clearing, our landscape is being reclaimed, our forest zones are being preserved, it will help them enable us do what? Break the 8. About an hour ago, I finished.
All right. It is someone another dan kwa Ekuonaba ekohia mu a wode to dwa enie. Ti asem wo kan se papa no oye down. Hwe nanim watimi se ne wra ho. Ahemfo so wo hwe video ni wieye no. Wo hwe o manim watimi se na se anya asem ketwa. Ashase no mo sere after the video no ende na Addo be kan ye no. Sika no mo so mo pani ade Africa no man ka ho asem biem. Obia ni mo aye style pa. We ya ade ehu hia wase nyina se ya daje eso camera kora wo ho e ka ho asem. The important issue pa no ene sa case bi. We ni ade a ese eye insuo anasa reme yawo erezi eye press bi ababonti na utie nsem wo mu anu watin brutal. Enti entimi fa bibia divert sa case we na e case wase nyina adwene koso. We ehu hia me more because menua bi me wo faase bi ejanka bi ekunani bi mobrowani bi etimwura bi mu anaso wote kwaye bi mu o pa aduane adi ensu anom saa Galamsey ya se za de no wonya saa de no nti we ni ade ehu hia e wo se ka ho asem doctor se wo Ghana e de krata aba abonten me pese me kan krata na me ahwe nsem ewu krata eye Ghana medical for e de ba abonten e ne da eye screen su medical for ene de bae na utie insem a ewo krata ni mu a abusua eye arehosem pa chese me kan krata ni wi sei no na chese me wra ho yi pa utimi se de Galamsey no ekoso de Galamsey no eye no enye se wuti aburuchire a ento wonti wafa ne se eye simple Unia bi kosa ha we mu sise ya ye kase ya. Eka ono nko ananko anya nsu a obenom. Eka ono nko ananko anya aduane obedi. But because of Galamsey ni nsemti, ede nsem ibriade aba. Yen kan krata o me ba abonten. Okay. Krata we ba abonten 29 September. As one say obi an kan mamunti yo. And we release the press statement on Galamsey. The Ghana Medical Association have on numerous occasions issued press statements on the dire consequences of Galamsey on the health of Ghanaians. It was the hope of the Ghana Medical Association that these health warnings would have helped deter these unscrupulous individuals and organizations involved in illegal mining to curtail their activities. Despite these reminders, the destruction of our lands and water bodies continue unabated and situated is getting worse by the way, which portends and blinds the bleak future of our country. Heavy machinery such as excavators continue to be used to destroy the rest of our already depleted forests, and our water bodies are being heavily polluted with chemicals whose effect would last many generations to come, even in communities far removed from these sites. It is also apparent that since political and traditional leaders directly or indirectly support these acts of sabotage against the nation, our future as a country is at stake, and it is time to name and shame. The GMA urges all Ghanaians to expose these individuals and organizations involved in this destruction of our lands and water bodies without fear and favor. The security agencies should treat these individuals as criminals by arresting and prosecuting them swiftly. We urge the court to expedite the trials and punish this sabotage without mercy when they are brought before them. The GMA calls on well-meaning Ghanaians, civil servant groups, including the media, to help mount sustained pressure on our leaders, both political and traditional, to help save our country for posterity. We urge the President of the Republic of Ghana to take the necessary and urgent action to reserve these minors which threaten the future and very survival of this country. Thank you. Dr. Frank Ayesrebo, President. It's Ghana Medical Association for Krata Omudi Ababontini. Na utie nsɛm ewo mu a na so mo akora na hunu sɛ sese ayete wa sɛ ye Ghana fuyi no enche saa de ye o maye eye generations na ebetwa so aba o nti sɛ wo hwɛ me ana sɛ wo tie me na sɛ wo se yɛmfa wo ho a ebi na abetwa so aba eye oba ana oba na na bi ana na ba bi na eba abetwa saa de wi so aba nti ade a Medical Association for nkwa hunu from far sɛ ade ha adwene wo se nyina kasa tia na media so di ehu jim na wo a wo hwɛ me so wo hyɛ na wo a wo hwɛ me so wo di wano tum ye nyina ye boa masa de wetutwa anoma bia ne wo wu wo soro antakraka wo soro e ba asase so to wote abrochire na wo hwɛ me wa adwene sɛ si wo Ghana nti emfa ho a wo be kwa akotom na oduru ho a wo be hu kwan befa so na wo so watena Ghana ho omo omte wo de omo ti ho omo hu de ekɔ na wa wo ba na sɛ na be si atena o man Ghana nim e ya rahosem e wo sɛ leaders, political leaders no any e chiefs for no any a police for the civil servant in the Ghana for ye nyina buy your hairs in shame. A new wisdom and nursing. Me did Ekuonaba Boaten.
Hello, Ebusiafo. So, Pesifita Asracha or Dofo dear, and then enough our Mokodom is unique laser whitening. Unique laser whitening. Our toothpaste to strong quam. What did you choose? Say, and ma was saying a year fita. Na a year fita non so. Na a ye and carbonate beer a wo no beer. Any tea stain. Coffee stain, smoking stain sibia, unique laser whitening product. Ebe yini nyina free swama o kama. The oba ni say utu so na odi bi egu o brush do so. Na odi etwitwe o sene so nyina kama. O hwia enhohoro wanum gya no wanum saa. Into for unique laser whitening. I was 07999792330. Unique laser whitening. Or say Muni seso. Hello.
Wait me subscribe to your channel no say the be the video to answer bekanti. Uwi aya share ne mi adoma no so video no beto ho ana won so wati mahu ye bi na won so ahwe. Afin so fa comment so good video na say. Ye check e page no so ye hunu say nipa o ma subscribe to your channel no 51.8%, 48.2 and subscribe e. Ubeti ma subscribe na so abeka 51.8 no ho. Ana afin ye check e geographical no location no. Nipa o ma subscribe no mo kan ebusuan ho. US ne din kan, UK ne toso, Germany ne toso, Ghana ba ansa na Italy aba. Bebia wono so betimi subscribe na wafi wa share na do comment nso gu video na se like page no na afi wa mi adoma no so video no beto announce wonya bi ahwe medase. Ubetimi subscribe to your channel no se de be the video to ansa bekanti. Abusia, me didi Ekuonaba Boaten na ha Ekuonaba television. Na adodankwa akofo ado. Ene mpanyfo ama yaso ate. Ye de ani ahunu. Unim de me kan. Galamsey ehuni oma ekoso ewo Ghana ebia na wo hweme na wonim hawa Galamsey no asiasa yinsu ni ensa asiafa eyade e wo say national issue ewo senka Ghana ni dihie bia no ka wote se ye ka Galamsey a umi ubeto so ananko ami ahye nanko wa start commenter enya temdidi commenter edi solutions beba na ye de mampanyimfo no because omo follow social media pa especially be page mpanyimfo wo so omo hwe na omuhwe ni oma ye ka ewo so omo de omo ti omo ba bi omo ti o wo what in the Flagstaff house wo ba bi a wote no yintu Galamsey wo ho nti wonya feelings ni ye Wu nua na wote akurase a woye ne kokoo ene no baye no a Galamsey na sey no because it me mindful na tikromo so contribute to ya asai na nanom bi so ka ho a akosai no any politicians nso edimu atentenma edibu se mudimu akotene no ama saa de yetima koso no yanka ho asem a me yampe kwan e betimi de asem ne pomasi berasi a enya de a ebeboa nti we
betimi subscribe to your channel no se de be the video to ansa bekanti uwi aya share ne mi adoma no so video no beto ho a na wonso watime hu ye bi na wonso ahwe afin so fa comment so gu video na se ye check page no so ye hu ni se nipa o ma subscribe to your